machine. And this specific machine is Anbernic RG280V. Let's go. Meeting an old friend and saying hello and goodbye to him at the same time, that's just beautiful, guys. This thing is a time machine, I'm telling you. I would say these emulators and save states are really great for adults. For adults which want to remember the childhood but don't want to deal with all these shenanigans of like replaying the same thing again and again just because. Like, I don't want to, so I'm just using it. If you don't want to use it, you don't need to. It's perfectly fine. It's like, I'm dead. I lost my life. Whatever, I'll just load it up again and face this boss again. Let me show you what kind of games there are. Arcades. What kind of system? Consoles. I got specifically Sega Mega Drive, Sega CD, Atari, NeoGeo, PC Engine, PlayStation 1, NES, SNES, SMS, Sega Master System, Sega Mega Drive or Sega Genesis, Sega CD, and that's it for consoles, I guess. Sony PlayStation. Handhelds. Game Boy Advance, Game Gear, Game Boy Color, and that's it. But if you want, I'm sure you can find more. Well, you can download more emulators, more ROM images, and it will be just fine. For home computers, you definitely could do some MS-DOS games or Pico 8 games, and it emulates 8-bit games, 16-bit games and systems up to PlayStation 1. It doesn't do GameCube or N64 or Dreamcast, but everything below that, it all emulates it, and it does it wonderfully. Even making it a GTA2 only machine would be totally justifiable for me, just because it feels so good when playing it. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. Yay, Sub-Zero wins. What a Chad. You can definitely adjust aspect ratio, adjust some like VGA colors and whatnot if you want to. Driver is already a PlayStation title, and I was actually really surprised how well PlayStation runs here. The tutorial, some people say, is probably one of the most challenging part of the game. When you play and you actually feel like the suspension working and moving left and right, quite blown away, you know. But with this thing, once again, as I show it, it's a click of two buttons, it's turned off. I put it in my pocket. I take it out of my pocket, so I turn it back on. I'm logging in back into the menu, and I'm playing. I'm back to the game. I take Steam Deck, I don't want to finish after 5 minutes. I want to at least play half an hour. This one, I can happily play for 5 minutes and put it away. Missed it. Ooh, fall damage. That's just beautiful. This is so much my childhood. And this one I already dropped it a few times and it works just fine, like it's not a problem, you know. So I wanted something reliable what will last, and I got it, and I'm really happy with it. Hey people, today's video is a little bit unusual because all you guys know what Steam Deck is, right? You all know how much I like it. I bet you enjoy it a lot as well. It's an extremely amazing piece of hardware and software, both hardware and software, which lets me to play any PC game anywhere I want, and not only PC game but also emulated games, all kinds of consoles, old consoles, new consoles, up to PlayStation 3 even, if you really try hard with it, or Xbox 360. I think it's also possible on Windows if you would dare to install it. Switch, absolutely, Nintendo Switch. I mean, there is nothing really new about it. Like, I have it around a year, maybe a little bit less, and in 1 year Steam Deck was extremely awesome. It made me play PC games again. It made me just play games in general, which I was already bored of playing. I started new ones, I discovered the whole bunch of awesome old titles, which I'm having great fun with. But at the same time, Steam Deck is not the topic of this video. So you see this big giant machine here, right? Steam Deck. But the question of today is, as a PC gamer, have you ever heard about stuff like this? These tiny, beautiful handhelds, which are basically emulation machine. And this specific machine is Anbernic RG280V. And it emulates 8-bit games, 16-bit games and systems, up to PlayStation 1. It doesn't do GameCube or N64 or Dreamcast, but everything below that, NES, SNES, all the Game Boys, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced, NeoGeo Pocket, arcade machines, it all emulates it, and it does it wonderfully. Just a size comparison here, like even before I turn it on, I just want to say that it's a really solid device, and I got it secondhand because it's not a new one. At this point, I think it's around already like 2 years old or something, close to 3 years old maybe even. But I got it secondhand one for around like $30-35 US, which I think is a pretty good, pretty cheap price. And it's just great. It has these 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons, L1, L2, R1, R2 on the top, and the usual D-pad. It doesn't have sticks, obviously, but it's just so much more tiny than a Steam Deck, It's like, this one is truly pocketable. And this is something I just throw in my pocket together with my cell phone. And in comparison with my cell phone, I do have a really great cell phone, Samsung Fold Z2. I like the big screen there and whatnot, but I just don't want to hassle with controls and like connecting any Bluetooth gamepad to my phone. Even though I have this gamepad, actually I might as well just show it to you. I do have a gamepad, and I do have already discontinued, they don't produce them anymore, and it's pretty good. It's full on Xbox 360 basically layout gamepad, meaning it has all the inputs necessary for any modern game, so I connect it to PC, Switch, any phone, any emulator, and I can happily play it. And it's also quite tiny in general, so I can play any game on my phone with this thing. But it's just somehow not as fun. For some reason, it's not as fun to play it on the phone, since with the phone I really need to spend time and effort on it, open up the phone, launch the emulator, connect the gamepad, make sure Bluetooth is on and whatnot. And it's just a friction, and especially if it's a plug-in gamepad to hold it like Nintendo Switch, that would mean I would need to control it. You know what I'm talking about, it's just not as fast and not as convenient. So I already spent a lot of time but making sure this handheld works exactly as I want it to work. And there is a lot of videos about this console and how to set it up, and those are the videos that are exactly the guides which I used from Retro Game Corp, I think the channel is called. He has lots of videos on how to set it up, how to download add-in image. He doesn't say where to get the game ROMs and BIOSes for all the systems, and I will not tell you either. I'll just say Google it, and there are very nice collections already. But I did have to scrap all the imagery for all my images with a tool Retro Game Corp also describes. So yeah, but after you do that, you end up with a powerhouse machine which launches and plays all the titles up to pretty modern ones actually from my childhood. And that's just cool. That's just really cool, and that's a lot of fun. So, actually the main reason I got this small, I don't even know how to call it, retro handheld, let's call it retro handheld console, right? So the main reason I got it is that at some point I just realized that growing up with PC, I had NES in my childhood, and I did have 3 to 5 cartridges to it, Bomberman, Battle Tanks, and something else. And in addition to NES, I also played some Sega at my friend's house. Mostly Mortal Kombat, but also a couple other titles maybe, but not much more than that. And I had PC very early on, and I never had any kind of Game Boy or Nintendo 3DS or PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. I always was a PC player. It's awesome, and I love it, and I have it around a couple of weeks. And I didn't dive deep into one specific game, but I tried out a lot of them. And it's just amazing. And additionally, I will say that they're just a trip to your childhood, basically. The thing is that you have this console, you bring it to your friends, you bring it to the office, whatever, it doesn't matter, you should just show it around, and people are like, huh, what is it? I've never heard about it. Turns out, like, I've never really heard about any of the retro handhelds that they exist. Like 1 year ago, I knew nothing about it. So when I show it to people, on average, people don't really know what this is. And I'm telling them, like, yeah, it can play all your childhood games, and they're like, yeah, whatever, who cares? And they all say so up until the moment they actually try it out. So for example, for me specifically, it was, let's just launch Nintendo, I guess. Where is it? Nintendo, yeah, NES, let's go. And we'll go to play Bomberman. My wife just launched Bomberman and she sat there for 3 or 4 hours until she beat the game from start to finish with all the safe loads. Yeah, Bomberman won. And I just want you to, like, if any of you spent as much time as I did being a 4 or 5-year-old kid with NES, and like as soon as I just hear these sounds, it hits hard. It's just so good. Yeah, that's it. Let's go. If you can relate to this, it's like, oof, this is just so good, you know? The beauty of it is that you start it, you launch it, and you get completely lost. Even though you wouldn't expect it from yourself, but that's just the magic of it. I'm sorry for the shake. That's just the magic of it, that's how it works. You start this little beast, you launch something random, and especially if you played it in your childhood, you're just gonna be absolutely blown away by the format of it, I guess. Because obviously I can play all of it on Steam Deck. I can play absolutely everything on Steam Deck, and it would play way better and way more comfortable because of the controls and whatnot. But I don't know, it just wouldn't be that small, you know? It wouldn't be that pocketable, that available, even though Steam Deck is already quite portable, right? But it's not really pocketable. As in this thing, like, it's a little bit out of focus, but I'll just show you that it's literally fits my palm and I can cover it and it doesn't really stick out, you know? And I don't really have big hands, so it's literally half of my phone, let's say. So it doesn't take any space in my pocket at all, and my pockets are pretty big, to be fair. I do like cargo pants and whatnot, but in any case, it's just like fits any bag, any pocket, you throw it in. And the beauty specifically here is that first, it has save states. So for example, I go save state 3, and let's say I save myself. And that's what I couldn't do in my childhood, right? And then I die. Come on. I die. And then I'm like, what did I do? I need to load. Poop. And I'm back again. I'm back to the game. I'm playing. And I'll even show you that my wife was so efficient with all these save states that I'm not sure which level it is exactly. Oh, that's the end of the game. Yeah, that's apparently... That's something I didn't see in my childhood, you know, but that's what my wife showed me when I grew up, literally the last week or something. And that felt like, I don't know, meeting an old friend and saying hello and goodbye to him at the same time. That's just beautiful, guys. This thing is a time machine, I'm telling you. So yeah, that's Bomberman. Like, as you can see, we have quite a lot of titles here, and the menu works really well. All the artwork, it looks good, and it shuffles really fast and really efficient. What else would I be showing you, for example? Playing original Legend of Zelda is definitely something I'm also interested in. I'll definitely do that later. I never really played Zeldas apart from Breath of the Wild on Switch, really, and Tears of the Kingdom, so Legend of Zelda original ones is definitely something I'm curious about. Mario's Metal Gear on NES, that's also something, right? Metroid games, definitely might check this one out. Super Mario? Is it Super Mario? Yeah, Super Mario indeed. It's like, let's just go for the first one, I guess. Yeah. And I had this game, but probably I didn't have it on the NES. I had it on my PC. And for Super Mario, I know you guys will not agree with me, but I just don't like it. I like controls, I can recognize good controls for sure, it's nice and smooth and everything. But I just don't like this franchise. I don't like the art, I don't like the graphics. Music, probably I can relate to somehow. But in terms of gameplay, it's like, I don't know. That's just totally not my thing. Even though maybe with some time in future I'll get used to it and it will become enjoyable again, but yeah. I never liked Mario in my childhood, and apparently I will not be really liking it now. But like, me not liking it is my own problem, you know? The point is that you can absolutely play it, and you can definitely have a great time with it. Especially if it's a game you like and if it's a franchise which you enjoy. So yeah, NES, absolutely wonderful. Let's also go for Battle City, I guess. Battle City is something I spend a lot of time. Contra, I will not be starting it, but Battle City indeed, let's go. It's just, these sounds, oof, they do have certain oomph to it. Is it some, oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's the sound, that's the gameplay. And another good part here, since it's an emulator and apart from save states, what you can also do is you can speed it up. So if you find the gameplay slow, like for some games which you don't want to wait for, I don't know, some JRPGs for example, and everything is really slow, and yeah, I died. So you can speed it up and it will be just faster. And on older systems it works quite well. I'm not saying that you should play this specific game like this, but whenever you need it, it's there, and it's really good that they have this feature, because it's extremely useful. Yeah, so that's Battle City. Oh yeah, by the way, let me show you what kind of games you got here, right? What kind of systems you can have. So here are my arcade games, and 2 simulators, Final Burn Alpha and M.A.M.E, whatever it means. And I have quite a lot of those. So for M.A.M.E, apparently for some reason screenshots are not loading, but they should be perfectly playable. Apparently I didn't launch them yet. Super Pac-man, let's try it. Just out of curiosity, right? What it will be. Yeah. Okay, drop the coin. Let's go. Sure. 19, what is it? 80, 82? Okay. Stage 1, Pac-Man. I think I've never ever in my life I've played Pac-Man of any kind. And feels kind of weird, but yeah, here we go. Pac-Man. Absolutely don't know what I'm doing here. This seems like some sort of complicated Pac-Man with, I don't know, buttons, switches and whatnot. Yeah. But it works. It certainly works. So yeah, here is arcade machines for you, you know. So that's for arcades. Definitely a lot of all kinds of games, you know. Oh, this one has screenshots, so I'm just scrolling through and you can see that I don't have screenshots for all of them apparently. Yeah. There is a lot. So I didn't really touch arcade machines just because, once again, PC player. Oh, but Crossed Swords though. I think I had it also on NeoGeo, and that seemed like a fun game. Seemed like some Daggerfall. Yeah, NeoGeo it is. Huh, let's try it. Can I speed it up? Okay, start. Pull joystick left right to move, and up to defend, and down to do the body shot apparently, slash by hitting A and B. Okay, let's go, let's go. I got a lot of credits. Okay, let's go. Come on. Am I playing already? Or it's still a tutorial thing? Let's see. Chapter 1. Yes, let's go. Start. Select. Anything. Oh, maybe I'm pushing wrong buttons. Okay. Merchant. Not merchant. Or village, whatever. Yeah, cutscene. And here we go. Okay. I'm going left, right. I'm attacking him. I'm also blocking somehow. I'm not sure how. But there is definitely a way to block. And I can do a thrust attack somehow. Oh, there is a shield block like that. Well, yeah. It's definitely some sort of a turn-based action. Almost like first-person Daggerfall type of game. Which works, which definitely works, some sort of an RPG experience, but I will not be talking about it too much now. Okay. I'm trying to check constantly that it looks okay, but maybe I fail sometimes. So apologies for that. Let me show you what kind of games there are. Arcades, what kind of system? Consoles, I got specifically Sega Mega Drive, SegaCD, Atari, NeoGeo, PC Engine, PlayStation 1, NES, SNES, SMS, Sega Master System, Sega Mega Drive or Sega Genesis, SegaCD, and that's it for consoles, I guess. Sony PlayStation. Handhelds, Game Boy Advance, Game Gear, Game Boy Color, and that's it. But if you want, I'm sure you can find more. Well, you can download more emulators, more ROM images, and it will be just fine. For home computers, you definitely could do some MS-DOS games or Pico 8 games. With Pico 8, what I don't like is that very rarely I found a game with a save state, so dedicating myself to a game and then I cannot even properly save it, and that was uncomfortable. With MS-DOS, I'm sure I will play some Duke Nukem here, because in my childhood actually I only watched it, I never really played it. So that will be something I think I will experience here. And yeah, and also it has some separate games and ports, and it has native games, as in like separate ports. I think you can install Nintendo N64 First Mario 3D here like this, like a port. And I can show you that a Cave Story, for example, works somewhat decently, though for some reason sometimes Cave Story crashes for me, and I'm not sure why exactly, but it does. And I think I progressed here a little bit already. Cave Story plays really well. Like, all the controls are pretty good. How do I switch a gun? I still don't have a gun. Okay. So the speed is quite alright. Let me make it a bit quieter. The speaker is actually on the back, but it's a decent quality enough that people around, of course, also hear it, but you can turn it on quieter. You can put your hand like this to reflect it a little bit. It's not a big deal. After all, I remembered that sound in this era was still kinda underwhelming, I would say. Underwhelming. So it's not a big deal if you even turn it off, for example. Or if you play in public, then it definitely would be good to turn it off. And by the way, you can still connect your USB-Cs only for charging, plus you can use it to transfer some files from PC. And you can still use your 3.5 headphone jack for headphones. It doesn't have Bluetooth though, if I'm not mistaken, so you cannot really connect your Bluetooth headphones to this. Which is fine. Like, I'm usually either playing with a speaker or no sound at all. So yeah, Cave Story plays quite well, quite enjoyable. Let's go to the list of favorites which I have here. I think this video is just going to keep on being me showing different games which I liked which I enjoyed, and it's definitely could be somewhat weird selection because once again I'm not a console gamer, you know. And while everyone played Pokemon on their Game Boys, I never really played Pokemon, and I don't plan to really begin. Maybe I'll check it out of curiosity, but I doubt it will be the same for me as it was for all the kids with original Game Boys, you know. So we just go to consoles. I press Y and I go to favorites menu. And in here I already like save some games which I'm interested in playing, and I did beat them a little bit. So for example, let's just go kind of one by one. I'll be skipping some of those, but still. So I think it's Alladin, right? Let's go. Let me load the save. And yeah, as you can see, it plays quite well. I wasn't playing it on Sega in my childhood, but I was playing a lot of it on PC actually. And it played really well. What do we do here? Oh, we roll for bonuses. We'll lose everything, and it doesn't matter much. There is a bonus level, sure. And the thing is that you can cheese so much with these, how do you call it, save states. Like right now I can save, and then if I'm being hit, I'll just even show it to you. Let me show it to you. It's like, I'm being hit, and I'm like, I'll load, you know, and I'll replay it like this. Yeah, I also already have another save state, which is a little bit further into the game. So I would say these emulators and save states are really great for adults. For adults which want to remember the childhood but don't want to deal with all these shenanigans of like replaying same thing again and again just because. Like, I don't want to, so I'm just using it. If you don't want to use it, you don't need to. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, as you can see, totally playable. It looks absolutely great on the screen, I'll tell you that. Like, all the 8-bit games, 16-bit games, PlayStation games, the screen is quite small. It's like 2.8 inches or something. It's big enough for everything to be distinguishable, but at the same time, it's small enough for the lower resolution. It's like 300 by 400. I forgot the specific measures, like, I don't remember what's the specific measures of it or something. But the point is that it looks really good. And I'm not sure if you can tell it from the video. Maybe it shoots more pixels, maybe it's out of focus. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, it's just, no matter which system you're on, it's really enjoyable. What's happening? In real time, we have a hang-up. Well, if you have a hang-up, you can always just reset. And it should be fine. Starting up, as you can see, it's a very quick process to start up the game. Also, you can continue a game from which you were playing, and I'll show it a little bit later as well. Bomberman I already showed you. Castlevania is something I want to play, as I never played it, but I didn't start it yet. Commander is basically just a thing to navigate around and to download some ROMs, for example, so that's how all the ROMs are organized on your SD card. This device has, you can run everything from single SD card, but basically you have two SD cards here. One is for system, internal, and another one is external for games and ROMs. And quite often I would be reflashing the system if something is lagging, but all the ROMs are safe. And if we go inside my ROMs, for example Famicom, which is NES, here we have all the games, and here we have all the previews which I created for these games. And yeah, looks great, I think. Looks great, and all my effort, it wasn't for nothing, you know. Crossed Swords is something exactly I showed you already how to play it. Desert Strike, the flying helicopter thing, I played a lot of those on PC. Not so much here, actually. Driver. Driver is already a PlayStation title, and I was actually really surprised how well PlayStation runs here. I never had a PlayStation. I remember my relatives, my older relative, basically playing this game, and that was something so deep in my memory. I didn't think I remember it until I actually launched the game, and I was like, whoa, I get it. Yeah, I've been there. So long ago I've been there. The infamous tutorial in this game, which I managed to beat. But as you can see, if you can see, you need to do these multiple things. Like burnout. Shit. I forgot how to. I already forgot the controls. I didn't touch the game in a while and I forgot the controls. So... the tutorial, some people say, is probably one of the most challenging part of the game. And as you can see, actually you cannot see. What's the FPS, I wonder? Can we check? Let's see. Core settings, FPS counter, anywhere. Like, if you have some performance problems, you can set some skip frames options or maybe reduce some emulation options. GPU, show FPS. Let's turn it on. Let's see. Config override. Let's do it. Will it work? Yeah, it shows resolution on the top. And it shows 60 out of 60 FPS. So, driver 1. Extremely playable. Extremely playable. Especially considering that there was a PlayStation 1 with DualShock. Let me load the game. Let me load somewhere into the city, for example. Like around here. Okay, make the exchange. Where do I go? I need to go somewhere left. Boom. The physics in this game is surprisingly good, especially when you like zoom in and you play from this camera. When you play and you actually feel like the suspension working and moving left and right, I was quite blown away, you know. If you remember that there was no 3D open city driving game because GTA 3 still hasn't came out, and surprisingly not only for GTA 3 but also Mafia 1, which came out in 2002, my favorite game on PC probably of all times, Mafia 1. Mafia 1 is the game which I just adore with all my heart. So Mafia 1, I felt after I played Driver now, I felt how much Mafia 1 took from Driver in terms of storytelling, menus, maybe even like how car feels and like in general the realistic approach to the car driving. They're just amazing. And even more so, the Driver 2 game, which I have some bootleg Russian version of it, but it works nonetheless. Let me just open it up. And this plays really well. Like, the graphics are better. The game came out later. So they definitely fixed something. They fixed some gaming, they fixed missions, they advanced it. It looks better. I would say it plays better as well. I think it's actually even a little bit smoother. Even though that on this specific handheld, sometimes I can feel the frame rate dips. So the frame rate drops down a little bit at times. But it's absolutely playable. And it's absolutely enjoyable. And the thing is... Oh, whoa. I didn't know I have a freaking bridge like this here. Wow. Whoa, that's so cool. That's really cool. Can I? Will I be able to do it? No, I cannot. I didn't know they have bridges which go up and down, which they absolutely had in Mafia. And apparently they had it here as well. You see? Like, talking about inspirations. It's even more than I thought. So, what I was saying, of course I can set all the emulators like this, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, doesn't matter. This doesn't handle PlayStation 2, by the way, only PlayStation 1. So, of course I can install it on my Steam Deck, and on Steam Deck it will be more beautiful, more enjoyable and whatnot. But somehow, it definitely will be a different experience. Not only like in a bad sensation, you know? Not in a bad term. It's just different, because for this one, I cannot treat it really seriously. I'm just like playing around with it, it doesn't feel like I'm seriously contributing and I'm seriously committing to it. But at the same time, it's kind of like it's almost like a guilty pleasure, you know? To play all this game, which I can play beautifully on a big PC screen with mouse, keyboard, gamepad. Also, at the same time, I can install them on my Steam Deck, but I just prefer to play it on this tiny thing, which I can just wait and see. I can just like lock it like this, turn it off, that's it, it's turned off. I'm busy, for example, and then I got a free 5 minutes when I'm commuting, when I'm driving a train, when my kid is waking up or my kid went to sleep and I got like 10 minutes of free time or something. I just click, I wake it up, and I keep going. And Steam Deck, even though it does wake up instantly, it's just big. So for Steam Deck, I still need to put it away somewhere and then pick it up. And when I put it away, I need to make sure that... let me just grab it actually and show it you. Like, if I randomly drop it on my bed, my kid can reach for it and like start to mess with it, play with it. Plus, when I'm playing Steam Deck, my kid definitely gets interested in it, and he also wants to click all these buttons and knobs and whatnot. And so usually, for example, if I want to finish it, I usually put a protective shell on it, right? This is a great protective shell, by the way. I never use any other case apart from this shell. So I need to put it away, move it, then bring it back, open it up, turn it on. It's like just kind of too much friction for... It feels like it's too much friction for like 5-10 minutes of gameplay when I have this opportunity, you know? But with this thing, once again, as I show it, it's a click of 2 buttons, it's turned off. I put it in my pocket. I take it out of my pocket. Plus, I don't use any cases with it. I'm not afraid to break it or something. First, it's dirt cheap. Second, it's really freaking solid. It's extremely solid device and just can handle the abuse, you know? Like, the screen is a bit dirty. I just wipe it with my t-shirt and whatnot. And like, it's pretty clean again. So I turn it back on. I'm logging in back into the menu and I'm unpushing the button. How to unpush it? Whatever. Let's press again. Yeah. And I'm playing. I'm back to the game. So this is what it is for. It's for these very quick sessions when you don't want to like commit a lot. You don't want to commit a lot. But at the same time, you have this time you want to play. And it's perfect for these old systems, which even on Steam Deck would look like too much... I don't know, too much commitment maybe, too much hustle, too much friction to play them on Steam Deck really. Just because it's bigger, bulkier, it's already, to me, I pick up Steam Deck, I still feel like it should be a proper game session. Even though, of course, it's like easier going for me in my head than a PC, but still. It's like, I take Steam Deck, I don't want to finish after 5 minutes, I want to at least play half an hour. This one, I can happily play for 5 minutes and put it away. But even for longer sessions, surprisingly, it's comfortable enough. Like some people say like they have cramps and whatnot, you know, because it's all quite packed here. But I would say first of all, you can hold it different ways, depending on the game. If like steering is important, you can put it like this. If these buttons are important, you can put it like that. You can hold it like really in a different comfortable ways and all of it will be okay. Plus, these buttons, they are not often used, but when they're used, they're quite comfortable to click. These are a little bit less comfortable to click, to be honest. Like, so that could be a problem for like some complicated games, which are speed-based. But other than that, you can even single-handedly play some turn-based stuff and whatnot, and it also will be okay. So that's Driver 2. Oh, another game from my childhood, which I really remembered only after I looked it. After basically I got this thing, I scrolled through the library to see which games I got, and then I was like, really? It's like, I got this game, and I also didn't have it on any consoles because I didn't really have consoles, right? But on PC, I played it quite a lot. MS-DOS, I guess it was. And that was amazing. That was amazing. I need to still adjust the controls. Oh, but this boss fight, I'm just so not good at it. Come on. Yeah, but once again, thanks to safe load, you know, even though like I'm just dying here all the time because I'm really bad at platformers and whatnot. Plus, there are timings which I need to get used to. It's like I'm dead. I lost my life. Whatever. I'll just load up again and face this boss again. So, for old guys, we just want to enjoy the gaming, you know, and want to have unlimited amount of checkpoints and saves, and want to be able to stop the game anytime. Like, I can literally, once again, I turn it off, I put it in my pocket, then I got these 5 minutes again. I'm like, okay, might as well try to beat that boss. Let's go. Let's go. And here we go. I don't know how to beat this asshole. Too hard for me, but the game is really fun, and I totally recommend this one to anyone if you haven't played it. Earthworm Jim. What else do we got? Fire Emblem, something I want to test out. Oh, another few titles which I'm just... Grand Theft Auto 1 is something I played in my childhood on PC as well. I never played it, like, properly, as in beating the levels, beating games and whatnot. But I definitely played it a lot. Let me load this state. Like, I already picked up this mission, I already have cops following me. And somehow actually feels like GTA 1 works on PlayStation 1. I'll remind you that it's a PlayStation 1 emulator. GTA 1 works on PlayStation 1 even worse than the GTA 2 for whatever weird reason. But that's just like feels more choppy. I don't know why. But it doesn't feel as smooth as GTA 2 feels. I also hope that the frame is good enough. And they blow me up. So that was GTA 1. Let me show you GTA 2. GTA 2 is actually something I've really played a lot on my Steam Deck, and it was very enjoyable, and I beat the first CD and half of the second CD, I think. And I kind of stopped. Because that was the original copy without any safe load, and at some point I just got tired of the endless driving when I don't need to drive, when like I just want to play the game, but I had to keep on driving again and again. And here, as you can see, actually the GTA 2 plays way better. I'm once again not sure if it's in focus, but I hope you can see that. The screen looks small, I'll tell you that, that's for sure. For GTA 2 it already looks like the one on a smaller side of things. But at the same time, the dialogues and missions, it's still, like, I can still figure it out. And it's not a heavy text-based game anyway. So like, we're coming out, we are walking, I'm looking at, for this one, yeah, this one is a little bit uncomfortable because the shoot button is this L2. So L1 is jump, L2 is shoot. I'm still yet to figure out the ways to... I'm still yet to figure out the comfortable way to like rebind it in this specific PlayStation 2 controller. But even this, I think if he doesn't kill me now, I'll be able to kill him. Yeah, so even with this not the most convenient controls, plus I'm not really used to it yet, I think if I give it more time, I'll used to it more. But it's absolutely playable. If I would have this thing in my childhood, oof. It's like... yeah, you know what I mean. Steam Deck is awesome, but this is... it's like its own kind of awesome, you know? It's like, once again, I pause it, I turn it off, you know, it's turned off. I click it once again, I unpause it, and I'm playing. Kinda like Steam Deck, but with the Steam Deck I cannot just put it in my pocket at any moment. With this one, I totally can. So screen is good, sound quality is good, controls are very convenient, but also for controls, let me show you this. This thing was 3D printed by a previous owner apparently, or he bought it or something, so he just sold for $30 the console itself and this 3D printed thing. And I was like, it doesn't make much sense, but actually, if you think about it, it does. So it's like, right now, I can hold it like this, like a gamepad. And come on, drive, go, no, busted. Okay, let me load the state, right? The second state, once again. It's just, it changes the position a little bit, and it definitely is more comfortable position because the console just holds itself and my fingers are resting. And also for me right now, it's way easier to click this, R2 button. Also, just please note, R2 is elevated in a really comfortable way, so I can click this, but I can also click this one without clicking it, R1, because it's elevated. So like, I come out, I need to shoot a little bit, right? Let's walk around. I need to shoot, okay. And yeah, I'll tell you that shooting like this is definitely more comfortable. Just because I can rest my fingers way more comfortably. So yeah, I want few more shootouts with cops. Anyone else? It's like, yeah, things like this. I don't use it, I'll be honest, because it kind of defeats the purpose of having a portable device, right? But at some point, it lays down at home, and if I feel like, okay, I can grab it. If I really feel like I need to have a lengthy session, I can grab it. I'm just showing it to you that it's possible, but to be honest, I don't really use it, exactly because I think like, well, I got this device to keep it in my pocket without any friction. So as soon as I start with these things, might as well just grab a normal gamepad or grab a Steam Deck, right? But once again, especially if you don't have a Steam Deck or anything like that, and you just want a device to play these older games, you're gonna have such a great time, even in GTA 2 only, you know? Like, I love this game so much. I don't really like GTA 3 just because for some reason I didn't really play it much. I played a lot of Vice City, but I didn't play a lot of GTA 3. But this, GTA 2, oof, that's my childhood indeed. And even making it a GTA 2 only machine would be totally justifiable for me, just because it feels so good when playing it. Yeah. I hope you don't mind that it goes all over my screen, but it is what it is. So yeah, actually, before that I played GTA 2 on this handheld only for like maybe 20 minutes or so. And the more I play, the more I'm getting used to controls, the more comfortable I feel. So yeah, this thing is also possible. Slot it in and keep playing like this. But it's not necessary. Especially it's not necessary to enjoy it. And once again, even like this, yeah, it's absolutely alright. It's alright. Looking around, shooting, falling back, shooting again, blowing them up. Perfect. Just perfect. GTA 2, what a masterpiece. Alright, another good title which I really have good memories from childhood with is Lost Vikings. This is Sega Mega Drive edition. It definitely was ported to many systems. I was playing it on PC once again. Most of my stuff I played on PC in my childhood, right? But basically, if you don't know what this is, it's a very old game from Blizzard. Kind of like a logic puzzle game. I forgot how to switch them. Okay, yeah, like that. Yeah. So we put out the shield dude. He protects me from all the dangers. I switch to my enforcer, which can shoot a bow, and he shoots a bow and he kills all the dangers. And there is also this small snail, which I can also shoot. So it's basically a puzzle game with every character having his skill. This one can run fast and he can jump. The enforcer can hit with a sword and shoot from a bow, but he cannot jump. And there is a shield guy, which uses a shield to protect, or he can use a shield as an umbrella to slowly fall down like this, you know. And once again, you die and you load again. You die and you load again. And that's just amazing. It's like, yeah, I just jump like this and it also works. It also works. Okay, and you gotta collect keys, like move them from one point to another and whatnot. Really good game, good fun. Once again, you can see that the old games with pixel art, yeah, I'm sorry for these angles, like they're not representative enough, but they look really crisp, extremely crisp on this screen. And very enjoyable experience overall, that's for sure. So, Lost Vikings, another gem from my childhood, which I wasn't able to play in my childhood because I didn't speak English in my childhood, and the game was in English, so it was really tough since it had some obscure mechanics which are not clear unless you read about them. But right now I speak English and yeah, feels great to finally be able to play it. What else can I show you here? Mortal Kombat 3. Sure, let's go once again. Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive, right? I did customized controls here a little bit because by default they're kind of awkward-ish. I'm really used to my like high kick, low kick, high punch, low punch, and this I set as a block and this I set as a run or something. But originally it was something a little bit different, and what I did, you go power button for most of the controllers. Like if you use Retroarch as a backend, and this is a Retroarch window, Retroarch, whatever. You go to controls. You go to port 1 controls. And these are the buttons which I remapped. Originally they were something else, but I put them Z, C, X, A, mode start, B, Y in this specific order. And then going back, I said manage remap files. Did I? I don't remember. And maybe I did like save it here or something. Override. Did it on? Yes, game overrides. I did like save core overrides, save game overrides, and one of those overrides just saved controls for this title. So right now, if I come out of it and if I just start to play the game, and I choose Sub-Zero, for example. Why is it so not clear, I wonder? Is it like this? Okay. Yeah, novice, let's go. Once again, you can fast forward and speed up all these menus which you just don't want to spend too much time on. And then you can save, and then you have the game begins. So we got our block. And they absolutely mess me up here. But not completely. Not completely. Come on. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. Yay! Sub-Zero wins. What a Chad. Nope. Okay. Oh, I'm not too bad. That's cool. That feels good. So yeah, as you can see, Mortal Kombat absolutely playable after you remap buttons. Because before you remap, it's quite miserable, but after you remap, it's quite fine. And once again, you can save load. So that's the magic here. What else? What else? You can definitely do Game Boy games. Let me just show you some of those, right? Consoles, handhelds. People say that I never had a Game Boy, but people say that it's really quite accurate. It's like I don't even know what to launch. Let's just launch, I don't know. Anything, basically, right? Mega Man, whatever. Let's do Mega Man. And you can choose a tint which you want to use. Apparently it's already preset. What I love that you can fast forward it, and if it's too slow, yeah, and it actually feels quite alright. Like, it looks okay, it feels okay, the music is quite nice. Never played this game at all, especially Game Boy version. Maybe one of the Mega Mans at some point I played, but no idea how to handle it really. No, doesn't shoot up. Yeah. But yeah, like, as you can see, it looks really good. You can definitely adjust aspect ratio, adjust some like VGA colors and whatnot if you want to. It's like up to you. If you want to do it, you can. It's just, I don't need it, but you definitely can if you want to. So I did launch some advanced games. Metal Slug would work just fine. Pokemons. All kinds of Pokemons. I haven't launched them yet. Maybe I will try them out eventually because I'm kind of curious what people are. Like how the whole franchise started, right? I didn't even know that Pokemon games came first. Just because in my childhood it's all started from Japanese anime, not from the Pokemon games or something. So yeah. Super Mario, is it here? Yeah. Super Mario Bros 3, I guess. Let's try that one. I think I also played it. Let me load it. Yeah. So, as you can see, runnable, playable, launchable, looks good, sounds great, feels pretty good. I said already I don't like Mario, and I have the right not to, because why not? I don't have to like it if I don't need to, right? But if you want it to be your Game Boy Mario machine, you absolutely can. It looks great. Like, maybe my footage right now doesn't do it justice, but here, in reality, so to say, it feels really good. And if it's too bright, we can always adjust the screen brightness, you know. Oh, come on, jump. God damn it. Mamma mia. Let me make it a bit quieter. So yeah, screen brightness. It goes really, really dim. And at night, in a dark room, it's exactly how it should be. And it also goes really bright, so at daytime, under kind of like, maybe not direct sunlight, but in any room or any smaller shadow, I would say it feels like the screen is brighter than a Steam Deck screen, so that's great, that's great. Right now in the footage I think this brightness looks better, but actually to me a little bit brighter feels like a more playable one, so yeah. Game Boy Advance, it all works. It all works. Another PC discovery for me, I would say, was... Where is it? I think it should be in PlayStation. No. Turn off this one. Come out to consoles. PlayStation. Navigation is quite comfortable. Let's choose name as in Worms. Not XCOM, definitely not XCOM. Worms Trilogy. I have this bootleg, weird Russian PlayStation 1 image with 3 Worms games combined into a single image. It will take some time to load. I'm not sure if I have any load states here. Would be good, but apparently I didn't. Just to skip all this menus and whatnot. Let's do Worms Armageddon. Okay. Start. Yes. And this was another game from my childhood which we played so much just because it's turn-based and it allows not even 2 players but also 3 players, 4 players, doesn't matter. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun as a local multiplayer game, but it's also shitloads of fun just against PC, and I think even nowadays people play it online. Does it have the same sounds? I'm not sure if it's because of the bootleg copy or something, but the sounds seem to be a little bit different from what I remember in my childhood. Maybe I'm wrong though. So let's go, I don't know, training for example. I did have my favorite training as a super ship training, where you fly with your super ship flying weapon, and you're just being blasting. Come on, load up. Okay, and here we go. Left, right. No, I missed it. Somehow I need both my hands left and right to control it comfortably. No, I killed myself, right? Did I? I did. Well, that's how you fail a training session. Come on, I can do better than that. Nah. Well, let's go back and let's start a random game with a computer. I still didn't figure out actually how to open the weapon menu here on PlayStation, because it's a PlayStation port and I never played it on PlayStation on NPC, so the controls can be tricky for me. Obvious for you, tricky for me, right? But the jump is like this. This is how you control camera apparently. Up, down, left, right. Okay, this is another type of jump. This is to switch in. Where is the inventory? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, let's do shotgun. Shotgun is a thing. Right? How do I switch for it? Okay. And then just up, down. Same way as on PC. Pow. Minus 25 plus fall damage. Yeah. Missed it. Boo, fall damage. That's just beautiful. This is so much my childhood. I spent so many hours in it. That just having this, of course I can play it on a phone with screen controls, but somehow having this in this small portable form factor, once again I just stop it, you know. I stop it and then I'm like, I want to play it, and I can play it anytime. I was like, yeah, let's go. And if I need to load it, I can load it anytime. That's another beautiful part which could be tricky on a native system, for example. This is just beautiful. $30 and so much fun. It's just pure joy. So, I understand that this is a long video which no one really would be interested in, most likely, and it's okay, but I just feel like I need to share, plus I can just later send a link to the video to anyone who's interested in this, in my feedback, who's interested in my feedback, instead of just telling it face to face every time. I can just throw a link to this video and they'll watch it. The final two things probably I would want to show is Shadowrun, if it's here. Is it here? Shadowrun. No, it's not. Let's go then. This is really interesting. Like, two different games developed for two different platforms with the same name, similar premises, very different gameplay, and yet they are so amazing. Like, if you look up, there are a lot of discussions on Reddit and there are very good YouTube comparisons. What's the difference between Shadowrun on Sega Mega Drive and, let me actually save it as my favorite game, and Shadowrun on SNES, Super Nintendo? Let me just show it to you, because once again, I didn't play it much. I didn't play it much at all. But it's such a nice, utopian, great graphics, great story. To me, it feels like a real game. Like, I'm not a big fan of JRPGs. I do love CRPGs, like PC RPGs. And so this one feels so much like a PC RPG to me, even though it's made for consoles, you know? It's like I'm really having strong, I don't know, probably Fallout 1 vibes from it. Like you choose a character and it actually makes a difference. You have this cybernetic story. You have this actual story-based gameplay, and when you're talking to people, you can choose how do you reply to them and what you say. And it actually would make a difference depending on what you say, you know. The story, the inventory, you have your like upgrades and whatnot. It's like it's a legit proper RPG, and the best part is that it's not JRPG just because I'm not a fan of those. Once again, I played them, but they're just not for me. And you have this gameplay, and it's quite action. As in, you like walk around. Where are the... It does look like a JRPG, I get it. But the battle is in real time, like you lock onto the enemy and you shoot him. Yeah, like this. Pow, pow, pow. Where's the... I'm sure this is not the enemy though. But I can kill him nonetheless. And I can loot him, I think. I'm not sure, can I? Maybe I can, maybe I cannot, maybe I don't. I can collect different missions. I can finish different missions. I can finish missions in real life. But also not in real life, but also in this like Matrix-like cyber... Very like System Shock 1, you know? System Shock 1 has this like cyberspace where you have this absolutely different gameplay. So this is somewhat similar. So once again, this is a Shadowrun 1. Shadowrun on a Mega Drive. Let me quit. And now I'll show you Shadowrun on SNES, which is so different, but yet so good. I'll probably just play and beat both of the games, finish both of the games, and then I'll make my own mind which one I like the most. But they really both of them look really good. And they are so different. This Shadowrun is isometric. Probably for now I like this SNES version more, just because it's isometric, and it really reminds me of classic Fallout games so much, like Fallout 1 and 2. It even has the cursor to interact with stuff around, and they're just like, here I am. No, I don't want fast forward. I'm walking around, the game starts, like you wake up in morgue and two guys talking over your body, so it's like this dark adult aesthetic, so to say, not like some freaking fantasy fairy kingdom yet again, but... And you have this navigation thing, and you're like, okay, too far away. Well, let me come a bit closer. What's that? Exit, examine. Let's examine. Armitage J. Paper fell out. Oh, I didn't know that. Can I pick it up? Torn paper. Pick up. I can pick it up, you see. And apparently I do have my inventory somewhere. Matchbox. So that's my inventory, as you can see, like I already have a matchbox. I examine it. It says something on it, Wastelands. Apparently it's like a Wastelands Club. Apparently it's the... How you call it? A nod to a Wasteland game or something? Torn paper. What does that say? Paper reads warehouse number 5. So apparently I'll need to go to warehouse number 5 later or something. You're not armed yet. So apparently when I shoot, I think there is also cursor popping up on the screen like in a similar fashion. And I will be just like in real time shooting my enemies like this. And I just think that's pretty cool. Open the door. Oh, he's alive! And they're running away from me. I just love it. It's like, it feels like an adult game, you know? On Nintendo system, surprisingly. The cabinet is locked. Anything else around here? Not really. Quite comfortable. I was really afraid actually of this cursor thing. But surprisingly, it's not bad. It's not bad. Wooden door, open, let's go. Not bad at all. Because cursor pops up exactly in a place where I'm at. The door is locked, let's move on. What's that thing? Nothing? Come on. No? Can I pick up any of those? No? Yeah, let's come out then. And maybe there is a cutscene right now. Yeah, there is a cutscene. Hey, you. Okay, dialogue. You cannot be alive. And and it also has this interesting like hashtag or tag talking system. Like if I know about things right now in my life, I have amnesia apparently. I know only of Hitman, so I can ask about Hitman. And he's like, they want you dead. I'm like, okay, let's keep talking. You're crazy to be like this. All right, so that's a friend actually. It's like, yeah, you see. It's like it feels like a real game, you know. And an interesting one. So yeah, Shadowrun for SNES and Sega Mega Drive. Both of those, I bet both of them are fun. So you see, like I just have some like English images. I don't have weird Japanese ROM, Chinese ROMs and whatnot, but it's not even hundreds, it's thousands of games on all systems. And if you want to, you can play them. Let's say NeoGeo. I want Metal Slug. Is it here? Metal Slug? Yeah, let's go. Nope. Metal Slug. Like Metal Slug is something I actually haven't really played in childhood. I launched it on me now for the first time. I heard something about it, not much. But I do recognize that it feels good, plays good. Animation is really good. So basically, middle 90s Contra, basically. Instead of Contra, there is Metal Slug, and it looks great and it plays great. So makes sense to me why people enjoy it. Insert a coin. Let's choose a hero. And here we go. Graphics are nice, performance is great. Insert a coin, sure. I have unlimited amount of coins. So, yeah, once again, the screen quality is amazing. I'm not sure if you can say it from this video, because it goes in and out of focus. It is what it is. But for me, it looks absolutely wonderful. And surprisingly, it also doesn't feel too small, you know. For these games, even as I said, like for Driver or GTA2, for these games, it's more than enough, more than serviceable. As long as you don't treat it too seriously. Like if you treat it seriously, if you treat a game like this seriously, just play it on PC, play it on bigger screen. Also another thing of this, like you cannot connect it to a bigger screen, I think. There are another ones, a bit more expensive ones, which can, like you can connect HDMI and play it on a bigger screen. But plus there are other ones which you can connect Bluetooth gamepads to, and you can play it with your friends and whatnot, or maybe you can hook up through Wi-Fi to your friends which also have the same handheld and whatnot, and you can play together. Maybe. And I'm sure there are things like this as well already. But this is actually not a new one. As I said, it's like 2 years old or something. And for me, I just wanted a single player device which I can whip out like this and just have quick fun, you know? Like, that's basically it. And for a quick fun device, which holds around 5 hours of battery, which is more than enough, which is many days, if not weeks for me, with how little I play actually. Like I don't play much, but when I need to, it's there, and I take it out of my pocket, quickly play, put it back, and I know all my progress is saved, and I can always jump into another different game. I can even set it so I don't need to choose a game every time. I can just choose a game which I need to launch by default when I launch it. So I click it, the game is launched, it's automatically saved. I just continue, I click it, it turns off, saves the game, automatically turns off, and I just continue playing. And it's awesome. It's awesome. So as I said, like when people see it for the first time, when people don't see it, they just hear about it, they're like, yeah, whatever, who cares? When they see it, they're like, huh, never seen it before, interesting. You give it to them, especially if they find a game which they wanted to play, which they played in their childhood, like Pokemons or Mario or some Sonic or some like anything, you know. Metal Gear Solid actually looks really good at it. add this on this screen. Final Fantasy VII looks pretty good as well. Where is that? Metal M. Metal Gear Solid, yeah. I'm not sure if I have save states here. Yeah, I don't, so it will load pretty slow. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid looks really solid here. And this is probably the way I will experience as well, because I've never played any of the Metal Gear Solid games. I know I can play them on my phone. I even have them installed on my phone through the emulator for PlayStation 2. But once again, with my phone, I just don't want to deal with the hustle of carrying gamepad and connecting gamepad to it every time to play. Like holding my phone, holding gamepad is just too much hustle. If I would take a slidable gamepad, then like slide out gamepad, squeeze it out, connect it to my phone, launch an emulator, close other apps if necessary. Like this one, I just turn on, turn off. It's already a Gear Solid playing, you know? It's like, I just immediately turn it off and it's turned off. I want to play it again. That's it, I'm back. And it's Gear Solid again. So, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. And if you guys wondered if you want it, if you're curious about it, if you want to try, I just say get a second-hand one, get a used one, make sure it works. And with Anbernic, you definitely couldn't go wrong about it. I was torn between like this specific device, 280V, and Miyo Mini. Not Miyo Mini Plus, because Miyo Mini Plus is already much bigger. I don't want a big one. I really wanted something like what can fit my palm, even like my fingers basically, not even my palm, right? So Miyo Mini is apparently not bad. It was harder to get, like I just didn't see a lot of those available on the second-hand market as well. And people do say that they're, even though the screen is much better, but they do feel cheaper and they're not that reliable. And this one I already dropped it a few times and it works just fine, like it's not a problem, you know. So I wanted something reliable, what will last, and I got it, and I'm really happy with it. So happy gaming, guys, have fun, enjoy, and yeah. Thanks to Retro Game Corp channel for all this information. Because without him, it would be quite impossible for me to set it up and to enjoy it as much as I enjoy it now. Thank you everyone, I hope you found this video somehow useful, and have a good one. Enjoy your games, bye bye.